So how do you minimize UK inheritance tax? Well, simply put, you give away your home. Or do you? Check out this video as we go through all of those details. Hi everyone, my name is Simon Mishevich from Optimize Accountants, and in this video we're going to be talking about UK inheritance tax, how you can reduce it by gifting away your home. And there's a URL that you can see there in terms of inheritance tax in general. So feel free to look at the government website, but let's go through some of the highlights in this video. So as you can see there, we could have a situation whereby you pay £400,000 worth of UK inheritance tax, or you pay zero. Totally up to you. It is a choice, and it's something that you are in control of. Now, let's talk about UK inheritance tax. What does it affect? Well, any cash or savings is going to be subject to inheritance tax. Any property you have, luxury items such as art, cars, that kind of stuff, is all going to be subject to UK inheritance tax. So it can be a real problem for many families. What is not subject to UK inheritance tax is pensions, which is a nice way of investing money for your long-term future whilst mitigating the impact of IHT. There's also trade agricultural, which is careful planning in terms of land that you might buy to raise stock, and I'm talking about cattle, that kind of pigs, that kind of thing, and land itself for growing corn or whatever it might be. I completely forgot what I was going to talk about. And then there's ways of making gifts as well. So as long as you gift something and you live for 7 years, then there may not be any inheritance tax issues, but you need careful planning. Why? Because there could actually be capital gains tax, which is in many of my videos, so feel free to watch those. Okay, so let's talk about inheritance tax for foreigners. If you're moving to the UK, you're thinking, what is inheritance tax? It's not going to affect me. Well, actually, it could. If you are moving from Hong Kong, America, or any other country for that matter, and you've been in the UK for more than 15 years, you will be deemed a domiciled person, which means that all of your assets would be subject to inheritance tax, which is a complex area of taxation you need to be aware of. Okay, let's think about inheritance tax. So everyone has a £325,000 allowance in their lifetime. They also get £175,000 worth of what they call residential nil rates band, providing their assets isn't over 2 million. Again, get some tax planning on that. That means that every individual can get £500,000 worth of IHT to gift to their children, their loved ones, without paying that tax. That means it's double for couples, so you will have £1 million to give away without paying taxes. Now let's think about an example here. We've got a £3 million asset here. It could be properties, it could be your home, it could be any other type of buy-to-let investments. And then you got £1 million worth of liabilities in the form of loans and mortgages, which gives you £2 million worth of net assets, which clearly will be subject to IHT. So even if we take into account it's a couple and they maximize their 325,000 plus 175,000, then they should get £1 million. But like I say, actually what we've got to think about is that if it goes over the 2 million, then they will start to lose the residential nil rate band, as I mentioned before. So careful tax planning is really required. So they've got £1 million, but £1 million now is subject to IHT, which is 400,000, which is what I said at the beginning of this video, is do you really want to be paying 400,000? Most times it's a no, but then what's the caveats? What's the trip ups? So one thing that I always say to people is, well, if you can live for 7 years, give away your home. Now, not your buy-to-let. Okay, so we're just talking about the home you live in. Give that away to your loved ones, especially if it's unencumbered. Very easy to do. But your buy-to-let properties can give you problems because you could suffer capital gains tax. Now, you have to weigh up this. If you sell or gift away a buy-to-let property, you'll pay 28% capital gains tax as a higher rate taxpayer, 40% as inheritance tax. So which one do you want to suffer the most? They are two different taxes. Capital gains tax is based on the market value you gift an asset versus what you bought it for, compared to inheritance tax, which looks at the market value less the debt that's outstanding on that asset. So they are two very different things. It's not an easy comparison to make. Okay, so let's get back to this example here. So what we've got here is we're going to give away a home. £3 million worth of assets, but we're going to give away £2.3 million worth of home, which means that the residential nil rate band won't exist because you only now have the 325,000 each for IHT purposes. But as you can see there, if we have a 3 million, give away the home, we've got the £650,000 worth of IHT lifetime allowance, no assets is subject to IHT. Now you could say, well, actually, could we play around with this? Of course, but this is the easiest way to minimize IHT in full. Now, the big concern I always have for here is that people gift away their home in paper form, but then they continue to live in that property rent-free and their children don't have access to the property. It's theirs as the parents' home and they think that's okay. It's not. That's called a gift with reservation. It basically means that you're trying to say that you gifted it away, but technically you're still there. So you haven't really, have you? So gift with reservation can cause major, major problems. The one way you can get away from that is actually if you say, well, I'm going to rent the property from you and I will pay commercial rent. That way you do circumnavigate around this gift with reservation that can cause you huge inheritance tax problems when gifting away your home to children or indeed grandchildren.